Times of the Oak Ridge Boys continues on TNN. In 1975, when the Oak Ridge Boys signed with manager Jim Halsey, they were poised for the kind of success that every artist dreams of. Halsey had the experience, knowledge, and creativity that could turn the Oaks' potential into reality. But it didn't happen overnight.
The first part of the plan, of course, was to get them seen by a secular audience and to develop a show that wouldn't turn off their gospel audience. The immediate thing, though, was to keep food on the table and keep the buses rolling and keep everybody paid. So I was producing shows in Las Vegas at the time for the Howard Hughes chain of hotels. And I had a regular running show that I knew that I could put them in for 3 weeks and at least have their hotels paid, their food would be furnished, and we could start developing a new show.
The new show included 70% country music and 30% gospel. When the Oaks were set to play the Landmark Hotel, Halsey convinced the management to pay for 12-foot-high letters advertising the band.
Now, if you're driving into town, and maybe you haven't heard of the act, but if they have a marquee that big and that important, everybody says they've got to be something. And of course they were.
Halsey wanted the Oaks' appearance to be as memorable as their performance. So he hired Harvey Cranston, who designed clothes for the Temptations and the Four Tops.
I told Harvey, I said, I want something kind of outrageous that's going to be different than anything that they've ever done before and a little different than what country music is. So Harvey designed some pretty wild suits and clothes.
Then, in 1976, Halsey put together the Moscow Express, a tour which featured the Oaks as the opening act for his other client, Roy Clark. In addition to the Soviet Union, the Oaks went to England and Belgium, where they played to wildly enthusiastic audiences. The following year, Halsey went to his friend Jim Fogelsong, head of ABC Records Nashville. He urged him to sign the group to the label. Fogelsong was dubious, but finally agreed and turned the band over to producer Ron Chansey.
My first goal was try to find a song that was country in nature, yet had that, that gospel sing-along, clap, everybody into it feeling. And that was the first thing. And so I started looking for songs.
We had been a very strong gospel group, and we couldn't get a disc jockey to play a record that was just about the birds and clouds. I mean, we had to sing about a saloon to get the disc jockeys to play us.
That song was Y'all Come Back Saloon, and it turned their career around. The tune soared to #3 on the country charts. Finally, after 3 decades of changes in name, personnel, and musical direction, the Oak Ridge Boys had arrived.
She played tambourine with a silver jingle, and she must have known the words to a East Hallelujah tune. But the one most requested by the man she knew as cowboy was a late-night benediction at the Y'all Come Back Saloon. In a voice soft and trembling, she'd sing her songs to cowboy as a smoky halo surfed around her raven hair.
These were happy days. All of a sudden, it looked like we were going to make it, that we stuck it out through these gray years, and now things were happening. We could go into truck stops, put a quarter in there, and hear the Oak Ridge Boys on a jukebox. How cool. And we still do that today. That hasn't changed. But, man, that was the beginning.
It built a future for the Oak Ridge Boys, is what that first hit record did. And that was a feeling of what made it feel so good, as you realize that, hey, with as hard a times as we've been through, the 2 or 3 years prior to that, that this made it all worthwhile. The race was all worthwhile at that point. So, yeah, it was a wonderful feeling. And still today, singing the song, the Y'all Come Back Saloon, which was our first record, it's still fun today just as it was 20 years ago.
After the Oaks cracked the country top 10 with Y'all Come Back Saloon, they followed it up with another hit, You're the One.
Now all of the others were places to go to when I had nowhere to sleep.
And I never made any promises to them, none they'd expect me to keep.
You're the one in a million, you're the one, you're the one, you're the one in a million I see.
We booked an entire year at 3 or 4 times the price of the money that we had been getting all of our life. And suddenly things started exploding and people started recognizing the Oak Ridge Boys as a country act.
1977 turned out to be an amazing year for the Oak Ridge Boys. The fans and virtually everyone in the music business took notice. Paul Simon hired them to sing backup on Slip Slidin' Away. Billboard magazine awarded them Breakthrough of the Year. They won their 4th Grammy. And the Academy of Country Music voted them Vocal Group of the Year. After 3 decades of struggling, the Oak Ridge Boys had come a long way from their Georgia clodhopper roots.